Hey guys, I'm Reynolds today. So in today's video we'll talk the Saturday games for round 4 of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. So this means we'll be talking the Highlanders versus the Waratahs as well as Brumbies versus Hurricanes. So yeah, two very interesting games overall. Starting off with Highlanders Waratahs, it should be a very interesting game to watch, with the Highlanders obviously coming back from their away victory against the Rebels last week. So yeah, they'll be definitely be looking to continue their form, you could say at least. On the other hand, the Waratahs have still yet to win a game within Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, so yeah, they'll be looking to at least get their first win. Obviously last week they had I'm not going to say a devastating loss against the Crusaders. Even though it was a wide gap, it actually didn't look like, the score was 20 to I think it was 50 at the time. It really wasn't that kind of score because the Waratahs actually came back into the game very well, so yeah, hopefully they can kind of bring that same energy within this game. Anyway, here are the sides, obviously, for both sides, for both teams. I'll run them by with you guys, and yeah, I'll tell you what I think about them. So yeah, with the Highlanders, of course, they have gone with the likes of even the group. Ash Dixon, of course, who's the captain for the Highlanders. They've gone with Takalani making up that front row, really, for the Highlanders. So, good front row, I have to say the least. For the locks, they've obviously gone with the likes of Per Parkinson as well as Bryn Evans. So yeah, pretty good lock pairing there. One obviously experienced, one kind of an up and coming, so good balance right there. And obviously with their loose forward pack, they do have the likes of James Lanchees as well as you could say Billy Harmon and Kazuki Himeno. So yeah, pretty good, I'd say backline. Well, not backline, but you could say loose forward trio there for the Highlanders. But yeah, with their backline, of course, with the 9-10 combination, they have gone with the likes of Kane Hamilton as well as Mitch Hunt. So yeah, that means that Aaron Smith, for the first time in a while, is actually getting a rest, which is kind of good to see. I think a lot of teams this week are kind of resting their players. Obviously with the Crusaders, resting their two key players. But yeah, Aaron Smith definitely deserves a rest within this one. He's been playing out of his skin, really. And of course, with the likes of Fakatawa also getting his injury, it's more or less you need him to rest as well because we don't want him to play all these games and obviously not make it for the internationals. Yeah, I like that move a lot. But anyway, moving on to the centres, you do the likes of Scott Gregory as well as Michael Collins making up that centre combination, and like I said before, very good combination, really developing good chemistry there. So yeah, definitely probably the main I'd say source of creativity I'd say for the back line, I'd say for the Highlanders. Yeah, with their wingers, of course, they have the likes of Jonah Nareki at 11, and yeah, he's been brilliant for them throughout this whole season. He scored a great try against the Rebels last week. Pretty much tripped the ball over a few players, and yeah, got the ball. So yeah, good try from him. And obviously, Thompson making it about 14 spot. And obviously, with that 15 spot, you do the likes of Josh Oney. He's been, I'm not going to say he's been playing brilliantly, but he's been there and he's done his bits. He's done very well, I'd say, within the air and actually catching those balls. But other than that, yeah, he's done. I think that the Highlanders backline is pretty good. I'd say pretty standard for this set of game. But yeah, obviously moving on to the Waratahs, you do the likes of Andrew Tulea as well as David Parecki and Darcy Green making up that front row. So obviously they have switched both of their props in this game with Harry Johnson Holmes as well as Angus Bell getting rest, which kind of I'd say needed because they've obviously started all 4 games, all 3 games together. So yeah, they definitely need a bit of a rest. So that's kind of understandable on that one. If you look at the lock situation, they've done the same locks as last time with the likes of Jeremy Williams as well as Jack Wheaton. So yeah, pretty good lock pairing there, to say the least. And obviously with their loose forward trio, they do the likes of Lachlan Swinton as well as Paulo Dizano actually coming back into the side, which is good to see. And obviously Jack Dempsey has been switched into the 8 position. So yeah, I'd say pretty good loose forward trio there. I'm not going to say it's as good as the Highlanders, but I'll definitely give them a challenge for sure. So anyway, moving on to the backs, of course, for the Waratahs, you do the likes of Jake Gordon, who of course is the captain for the Waratahs. He's been brilliant for them. I'd say one of their standout players throughout this competition. Particularly that intercept try against the Blues. So yeah, that was a good one. But obviously his partner in crime will be Will Harrison at 10, with Ben Donaldson being slightly injured from last week's game. So hopefully Will Harrison kind of shines in that 10 spot. Yeah, with the central combination, they have gone with a little of a switch. They have gone with the likes of they haven't gone with switches, but it's one of those which it'll be an interesting battle, I say at least, against the Highlanders. But the likes of Fakatea as well as Parisi making up that center combo for the Waratahs. Yeah, with the ringers, they do the likes of Mark Nalo Quantasi. He's hasn't been, I'd say, in the frame as much. In particular within this season's competition, but more or less he's done pretty well, I'd say, when he's actually got given a chance. So hopefully we see a bit of a spark from him. And obviously his partner in crime within the 14 spot is the likes of Alex Newsom, who's obviously a very good player to have because he's very versatile in that sense. Yeah, with the last position, obviously you do the likes of Jack Mallix, who's been switched from that 14 spot to 15, and yeah, preferably I think 15 is probably his best spot because he's very good at finding gaps throughout the defence. So we'll see how he does within this game. But anyway, that's kind of it with the both sides and their lineups. If I had to say who actually wins this game, I think I'm going to have to edge it towards the Highlanders, obviously because they have home advantage in that sense, and I just think that, it's interneeding that. I just can't see them losing this game, but of course the Waratahs do have a very strong back line, so I do think this will be a high-scoring game. So for that reason, I'm going to say the Highlanders will win this game, I'll say by only 7 points. But I think the game will be 28 points to 24. Yeah. I'll say 28 points to 23. Yeah, 28 points to 23 is my final prediction for that game. Anyway, moving on to the next game, obviously, which is the Brumbies versus the Hurricanes. Should be a very interesting game to watch, obviously, with the return of one particular man in itself, but we'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, obviously this game is being played within Canberra, so Brumbies obviously will have home advantage within this game, which is what they need really, because last week's game against the Blues, they just really weren't there. I mean, within that first half, they had, I'd say, 10 minutes where they were actually in that game, obviously taking a free pretty much a penalty lead, but yeah, since then they just got brushed over from the Blues, and the Brumbies will definitely be looking to kind of improve on that. But on the other hand, though, the Hurricanes obviously came back from a very impressive victory against the Western Force at home by beating them, I think it was 43 points to 6. Yeah, very impressive victory overall. So they'll be definitely looking to continue their form really. And yeah, I mean, they're in a situation where them and the Blues really are looking to win this game, because obviously they are playing both away from home. So it's one of those where whoever messes up within this game, in my opinion, doesn't make the final. It's one of those where I just think the Crusaders are just too strong, which I think they'll kind of pip it and come into that final, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, here are the lineups obviously for both sides. I'll run them by you guys, and yeah, I'll tell you what I think about them. So with the Brumbies, of course, you do the likes of Scott Seal, as well as Lachlan Lonkin and Alan Alatoa making up that front row, and obviously Alatoa being the captain for the Brumbies. So it should be interesting to see how he does. I'm not going to say he's been that impressive, but obviously he's stood his ground. He's brought a lot of experience in that front row. But obviously with that lock pairing, they do the likes of Darcy Swan as well as Nick Frost, so they've done pretty well together. And I've been very impressed with Darcy Swan, to be frank. I actually think he could be in the conversation of a Wallaby call-up. I think he's been very impressive for the Brumbies, and he was in particular against that Blue side last week. He saw a lot of those line-up balls, so we'll see how he does within this game. But yeah, with the loose forward shirt, they do have the likes of Rob Valentine making that 6 spot again. And then you have the introduction of Luke Renier, and then of course Harry Soares at 8. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, probably I would have gone with Rob Valentine at 8 and then switched it with Harry Soares at 6, but obviously they can play at both ends, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, with the backs, of course, for the Brumbies, they have gone the likes of Ryan Mulligan as well as Noah Lasea for the 9-10 combination. So pretty good combination, I'd say, overall. I'd say a good enough balance there. I wouldn't say it's the strongest one, because obviously you do the likes of Nick White on the bench, but still, it's a pretty good combination to have. So anyway, moving on to the centres, you do the likes of Bailey Kazui making up that 12 spot actually in replace of Israel Simone. So it should be interesting to see how he does within this game. And of course, you do the likes of Ikatal making up that 13th spot. So yeah, it should be an interesting combination to see how they play actually together. So anyway, moving on to the winners for the Brumbies, you do the likes of Mark Hansen replacing Tom Wright from last week's game. And of course, Simone Kata making that 14th spot. But yeah, with the last position, obviously, you do the likes of Tom Banks making that 15th spot. And yeah, he's been brilliant, I'd say, overall for the Brumbies. Probably the best player, in my opinion, for the Brumbies in this competition in particular. I mean, that game against the Crusaders, he was brilliant. So hopefully you can kind of translate that into this game against the Hurricanes. So moving on to the Hurricanes lineup, they haven't really made too many changes, to be completely honest. They're kind of sticking with their front row, the likes of Numia, as well as Safa Moore and Taro Lomax, and they were brilliant against the Western Force last week, so hopefully they can just continue that form really. With the lock pairing, they have gone with James Blackwell back into the side in replace of Walker Luea, so it should be interesting to see how he does. And obviously his partner in crime will be Scott Strapton, so yeah, I think that's probably the best combo in my opinion, but we'll see how that goes. And obviously this is where the big names come in, because for that loose forward trio, they have the likes of Devin Flanders at 6 now, Dupsy Karifi at 7, and of course the main man, Arne Sevilla. He was captain and once again back into the side in the starting lineup. So yeah, very excited to see him back within the frame. Obviously in perfect time, to say the least. Getting at least 2 games to his name before he actually gets into the international call-up. So I'm very excited about that, because it's just perfect timing in that sense. And yeah, I love the player so much. I mean, obviously he was a part of the Hurricane squad who did beat the Western Force last week and was very crucial in that try for Liam Mbappe, you know, with Jordi Berra putting it up, or just be a passing off to Liam Mbappe. But of course, this will be his full, you could say, his full starting game since that injury. So it'll be good to see how he plays from this game. But obviously, with that back line, they do have the likes of Luke Campbell as well as Ruben Love, who is another name who actually comes back into the Hurricanes frame. Obviously, with that injury, I believe within the first round, which was a kind of a heartbreaking one, but to say the least, I mean, yeah, he was actually no, it was I think it was it was his first round. It was the first round. Yeah, it's good to see him back within this frame because obviously Orban Ledger's done very well in my opinion, you know, for the Hurricanes. But yeah, I mean, Ruben Love did get injured against the Waratahs within that opening round, and yeah, since then it's just he was actually good within that game. So it's just one of those which I'm happy to see him back in the frame because he's definitely one to look for the future. Anyway, moving on to the centres, obviously, for the Hurricanes, you know, you obviously have their best combination, in my opinion, with the likes of Liam Mbappe as well as Billy Proctor, so it should be interesting to how those two go. I mean, yeah, just thinking about it now, this is his second last game for Liam Mbappe, so yeah, just hopefully he has another good game, really, because I thought he was very impressive in last week's game. Anyway, moving on to the wingers, obviously, this is probably their best wingers, I'd say, for the Hurricanes, what they can go with, the likes of Riassi with that 11 spot, and then, of course, Julian Sevilla at that 14. Both of them have been very good within getting tries within this competition. I think both of them have at least, I think, 4 tries. So it's one of those which it'll be very interesting to see who actually pips each other within this game. But to be perfectly honest, I think both of them actually are in the conversation for the All Black frame. So, I mean, and you might be surprised for me to say that, but I think Julian Sevilla's earned it. For what he's doing at the moment, I think he's in that conversation. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ian Foster goes with him. So we'll see what happens there. But obviously with that 15 jersey, you do the likes of Jordi Berra, who at times has been brilliant and at times has just been a bit lacking quality. So hopefully he has another good game for himself. But other than that, it's kind of with both teams. And if I actually say who actually wins this game, I think I'm going to edge it towards the Hurricanes, but I think this will only be, it's going to be like by 2 points, I think. It's going to be a very close margin. So for that reason, I think the Hurricanes will only win this game, I'll say 25 points to 23. Yeah, 25 points to 23 is my final prediction for that game. But anyway, that's kind of it with the video. Just hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Just want to see you guys commenting below. Tell you what you guys think about these games. But other than that, just talk to you guys soon.